What is happening, budget builders, and welcome back to the channel. You see behind us we have that E21 320i that we did a cleanup on and did a compound of wax and really brought the paint back to car on this really brought the paint back to life on this car. Now, although I'd love to keep this, I really do enjoy this car. I've been driving it around the neighborhood a little bit. I'd like to throw a tag on it and have it for myself. We have too many projects. We have some that we want to be able to finish up. This one needs to get wrapped up and go to a new home. How's it going? I'm Michael and this is Budget Builds. My dad and I bring rusty, crusty old cars back to life. Now we've really been kicking it this week with springtime here, summer coming up, shows are starting back, and I want to be able to take some of our projects out to those shows, be able to meet some of y'all and be able to just enjoy the association of being out there and having our cars out there. So even though I ordered something for this truck 3 months ago, it's still not here. I wanted to start working on it, trying to get it done. So we have a video coming up on it. I've just about got it completed. And it's a mess up in there, but we've been working on the 911. We're about to put the motor back in that thing. You'll see here real soon. So first thing that I want to do on this car is start knocking out the outside. Now, y'all fussed at me. Obviously, I own a lot of 70s and 80s European cars, so I know this is the US goofy bumpers. I don't know what, I just blurted it out, didn't catch it, and edited it, so it was what it was. Y'all know what I meant. I have something, the rears aren't terrible on these cars. So, rear's fairly attractive. This thing is goofy. We need to pull it off. You guys remember that trim was missing? Well, there's a bunch of parts in the trunk, and in there, voila, our piece of trim. So let's get that stuck back on. And then last but not least, on the outside here, bumper tuck. Now, it's hard to get European bumpers in, especially right now, but let's at least try to make this thing more attractive and get this bumper from here up into here, and I think it'll make a huge difference on the front end of this car. Once we get done with that, we'll jump in this interior and start getting it as detailed as we possibly can. By the way, whoever buys this car from me, all this stuff, and I didn't look, I dug through and there's a fuel pump. It looks like a fairly new one too. Whatever. So there's an extra fuel pump. Bunch of new old stock bolts, AC compressor, headlights. Oh yeah, there's an emblem. We'll put that on the car too while we're at it. Interior stuff. I only have one rear door panel, but I have a nice set of front black door panels, belts. If you wanted to go black interior in this car, all kinds of stuff that'll come with it when we get ready to sell it. First thing back here, it's small, but will make a huge difference. Let's get rid of this license plate thingy. Man, you're just plastic nuts. Now for the time being, let's see, I'm gonna cut these up here, and then these can actually be run down and underneath. All right, and there you have it. Got some grommets stuck in there, so that's sealed up. Now, I don't want to go drilling holes and doing stuff under there because I want to leave that to the new owner to decide, because they may want to put the license plate back there. I sure wouldn't, but it's easy enough. You just get a license plate bracket, mount it from underneath, run your probably just a big single LED light down onto it, and boom, you have your lower taillight and you have a nice clean back in there. Alright, now it's time to knock out this bumper tuck and really completely change the appearance of this car, because that's one ugly bumper. So first thing we want to do is get it all unbolted. You've got two 13mm nuts on either of the mounts. Then on either side at the end of our bellows there, it looks like we have two 10mm bolts and maybe an 8mm. So let's go ahead, pop those off, get those off, and get this whole thing off of here. Well, I got it here. Let's go ahead and just get the entire bellow off. So on the inside up in here, we have two 10mm nuts. Boom.
All right. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, I took the wrong one off. Ba-doop.
All right, now we've got our drill, a really good, super sharp drill bit, and a bucket. So what we're gonna do is slide up under here and probably go right here, and let's drill a hole, because these shocks are actually full of fluid, and by drilling out that fluid you can run these in here. So make sure you have your bucket, make sure you're not looking at it. Not only you don't want to get metal shavings in your eyes or anything, but I did this one time on a rabbit with out of the vehicle, and won't you guess how that went? Now this is just like a hydraulic oil almost, so it's not anything that's going to hurt anything. Obviously we're catching it all anyways, but even if you get it in your eyes, just wash it out and you won't go blind. Ask me how I know. All right, with those both drilled out, we have our mallet. Voila! All right, so with the bumper off, I went ahead and removed those busted up fog lights, and we pulled off, what was that thing? The license plate holder thing there. We can put some caps in there to cap that off. Oh my goodness, that brings it way in. I mean, that's probably 4 inches or better. So much better. Still not as pretty as Euro bumpers, but it's free. You know, that is a free installation, free modification. All right, so I've gone ahead, we've got it completely bottomed out. I've drilled through in our new, completely pushed in location there. We've got some stainless self-tapper screws, impact, and voila! Those aren't coming in, those aren't coming out. Now there's some companies that make different brackets and stuff to really push them even farther in. I think it'll have a nice look. And there you have it. It's subtle, it's not Euro bumper, but it completely tucks in and cleans up the whole front of that car. It's not crazy off the wall or anything, but it, my goodness, it makes all the difference in the world. Just getting it tucked in a little bit. So much better. That's gross. Excuse me. All right, now it's time to jump into this nasty interior. Thankfully, it's pretty dry. Obviously, the sunroof is a little bit open, but all the drains seem to be pretty clear. The cables need to be gone through. I can't open it up, but we don't have really any water penetration in here, or water intrusion in here, so it's kind of gross. It's musky, moldy. I think maybe some coffee literally dumped everywhere over there. But as far as like real bad smelling or anything, it's not bad. The other one stunk. The red one we had. This one, thankfully, wow, I just realized there's a lot of mold underneath this we need to get all that taken care of. But first thing, so we can get to everything nicely, let's go ahead and get these seats removed. Now on the outside of the car, you have two 10mm bolts. You can slide your seat all the way back to get to them, slide them all the way front to get to the rears, and in the front we have two 17mm bolts on the inside of the car at the tunnel. So let's go and get those pulled off really quick. Let's get the seat out of here. So simple, so easy, and we're out. And there you have it. That absolutely beautifully clean interior. Blech. That's nasty. What we got? We got your hot stuff back in the day with one. Look at that 64 KB business organizer scheduling system. What else we got in here? A broken magnifying glass. Is it 24 carats of gold? Nope. So that was a nice first initial vacuum, pulled a lot of dirt and a lot of trash out of here. Now, thankfully, this car is pretty solid. We don't have rusty floors or anything. All the seals they're okay. They're not great, but there's not a ton of moisture in here, so we don't have a ton of mold, and it doesn't look like we've had very many rodents. So overall, it's a fairly clean car in the realm of cars that have been sitting for 20 plus years. I think the main thing is just a high mileage. You got coffee stains everywhere, maybe tea stain. We're in South Carolina, it's probably sweet tea stains. And we got to do some work to this carpet. So let's go ahead and first, we're gonna get our tough stuff, start working on those stains, and we got a interior brush that we can really go through and start trying to work this stuff in. Start trying to pull some of it out. All right, so we got our steam cleaner, and that has some cleaner stuff in it, and then the boss also hooked me up with, I don't know, some of this stuff. So this is, yeah, stain remover stuff. And being household, maybe it's a little stronger. We'll see. I'll go ahead and soak a few spots down just so we can tell if there's a difference. And we'll know. Is that not just incredible? It's not perfect by any means. It's old stains, and in person it looks absolutely great. You got to remember there's a lot of bleaching up here, but this is actually tan carpet. So that darker tan, there's so many discolorations where mats were on and stuff. This is tan carpet, so we're not trying to get it white, we're trying to get it back tan. But you can see that separation line right there. This stuff it absolutely works incredible. I will try to find the video. I'll put a link down in the bottom if I can. And all it is OxyClean, rubbing alcohol, and Windex. Oh, and Dawn. I didn't put Dawn in it. I forgot. And Yeah, dish soap. And then hot water. And this stuff's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at the difference. Nothing was touching this. Tough stuff, anything. Obviously it looks a lot better than it did, but it's not perfect. And boom, this stuff just goes in, and spraying it is just pulling everything out of it immediately. That is absolutely awesome. I will be using, it's just cheap stuff from the store. I'll be using that from now on. That is absolutely awesome. Is that not just absolutely wild? Look at that. It's brand new. That is crazy. In the video, the guy's using a bottle with a hole put in the top, and that's because you can't get a sprayer worth the crap. They don't make it through one transaction and you're done. Cool, cool. Look at that. All right. And there you have it, looking so much better than it did before. Now, obviously, this was a tan car, or a tan interior car. So originally this was all tan. We have a lot of sun baking, so it's a lot lighter up here. So it makes for just some crazy discoloration, and it's pretty thin, so you see the black coming through from underneath. So it's not a perfect car fit, but it is so much better than it originally was, and all those massive stains that we had and everything, all up this side and all, that are now completely gone, and just completely transform this interior and make it far better than it was before. I'm not sure if that camera's going to give it justice. It is such an old, pretty rough carpet. That cleaner stuff is something that we'll always use because it works awesome. Oh, all right. So I've got my Meguiar's leather and vinyl cleaner. And then what I'm gonna first do is kind of soak all this down. But then you have all these little grooves, and so what I've got is our little interior detailer brush, and I want to agitate all of these little grooves and make sure we get all the trash out of it. Also want to get in this door crack here. Around the ashtray. Now please guys, please y'all, remember, I'm not a detailer. I know y'all in the first video I put detail, for me it was, right? I am not a detailer though.
I'm just simply bringing an old car back to life.
I'm going to take our back seat, do that same process. You can see just how nasty this thing is. Looking good. Not perfectly perfect, but for a deep clean, so much better. Now let's go ahead, wrap up our rest of our interior so we can get those front seats back in here. And there you have it, a complete, deep cleaned, pretty presentable interior. Now obviously you could use some new carpet, that would make a world of difference. I wish I had a seat cover for the bottom of that seat, but we all know it needs original tan sport bolster seats. It would look awesome in this car and really tie in this whole interior. But we're gonna leave that for the new owner. Alright, and there you have it. A very nice, pretty clean example of a fairly original E21 BMW 320i that we saved from the scrapyard after sitting for 20 years. We got the car running, we fixed a few things, we got it driving, we did a full detail, deep clean on the exterior, engine bay, and interior, and then we did a few modifications like that bumper tuck, removed a few things, fixed a few trim pieces, and it's time for it to go on to a new owner. I'd love to keep this car. It is a super fun car to drive around. I'd be super proud to own it, and I know somebody will. If you all enjoy these kind of revivals, be sure to subscribe button, notification bell, go down in the comment section, let us know that you're enjoying these, hit that like button. That'll wrap it up for this episode. Peace out, and catch y'all on the flip side.